can't believe this. All right. So, welcome back to Your Gay Best Friend. I am back with Ross, still in Singapore. I think you're going to be stuck in Singapore for a little while now.
This is where it all happens. This is where the action is. I
No, no,
don't need to
no.
go anywhere else.
No, no, no. You have
Oh,
to
what?
go
You're going to
places
tell
too.
me there's something better happening somewhere else in the world? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Well, Florida's got a few new residents, I hear. Anyway, so what we are going to kind of talk about is you might not know about this because this was trending in the USA today. uh, but I don't think it's made its way over to Singapore. The number two trending topic today was Jojo Siwa. Now, I we've talked about JoJo a little bit before. You did not know who she was. You had to look her up to actually see what her picture is, right? Or what she looks like.
I did. That
Mm.
12-year-old girl, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that 12-year-old girl is actually 17 years old, and she works for Nickelodeon. And with Nickelodeon, her brand is she was really big when she was very young. She has a very specific style, a very specific look that she has kept going because she wrote it all the way to the bank and back. Because the big bows that she wears, the face glitter, clothing line, toys, accessories, the whole nine gives her a whole lots of money. She goes on tour and I think she sings and dances. She does meet and greets. She makes a boatload of cash. Boatload of cash with a whole bunch of
She,
tweens
well,
running around
when I
screaming.
first when I
What?
first looked her up, she did like her title did come up as like singer, as dancer,
Hmm.
so I don't know whether that's really what her talent is, but
I think
she
she's
obviously
from
had to have
Dance
something to
Moms.
come from somewhere.
You know what? She might be from
Oh, that
Dance
would that would
Moms.
explain it.
She looks like a little
Yeah.
cheerleading person. So now,
Yeah.
why
Well, she
she
looks
was
like a living unicorn as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, yes, and when the unicorn trend was huge, like a year or two ago, and um, just holographic items, that was a big trend over in
She was
2019,
there.
2020. She was ahead of the curve. But the reason why she was trending, it's kind of interesting because she tweeted herself wearing a T-shirt that she got from her cousin that says "Best Gay Cousin Ever," and puts out the speculation that this is her coming way of coming out, that she is a lesbian, I suppose.
So, so hang on. So it's not that
Yeah,
her cousin's gay.
no, no, nope.
So it's that she's gay.
That she is gay. That's what the speculation is, because she is identifying as someone else's cousin who is also she is gay. So if I
Okay.
was to wear a shirt that said "Best Big Brother Ever," I it would be assumed that I got it from my sister. It was a gift from my sister, and that she actually thinks that I'm the
That you are the best.
best older brother ever, which would never happen if you know me in real life.
I,
Anyway, but so she's wearing a shirt that says "Best
wow.
Gay Cousin Ever." So being that it's from her cousin, and her tweet said, "Got the best shirt from my cousin."
I,
So it
do you know
confirms.
what? I'm kind of impressed. I am impressed. I was expecting after I first saw who this person was, and I
Mhm,
really haven't taken much in, but I would expect that she would be taking on, the persona of some kind of, sea creature or some kind of animal from, mythology, or,
mhm.
just to
The
come out
pretty
and
Loch Ness
say, look,
monster.
yeah, but to come out and say, look, I'm just gay, in such a simple form, congratulations.
Yeah.
I think that's commendable. I think that's a really simplistic thing to say, but I'm sure people are going mad about it,
Oh, I am
because
sure she's
she's
17.
17, she's underage.
Mhm.
Oh my, this is gonna be the
She
worst thing ever.
she is her fan base is tweens, little
Yeah,
girls, like, that are much younger than
impressionable.
her. Yes, very impressionable. You know what?
'Cause you can catch it just by looking.
It's in the water here.
Yeah.
I am feeling a little peckish. Give me 1 second because I just
Okay.
happen to have
I'm worried now.
just kind of.
It's
I'm going
it's
to have
I
one
knew
of
he would do
my
this.
rainbow Oreos, guess, that you can't
Yeah.
have. And just so you know, it's red. Okay. So I know you might not be able to
Okay.
notice the color on that. It's red like your hair and
I
your
can't
beard.
see. Yeah.
So little
Okay.
ASMR for you because, I'm skipping dinner to talk to you all the way out in Singapore.
Let
Because what, we're
let's listen.
13-hour
Let's
difference?
listen to that. The Well, I'm way ahead of you in so many other ways. But does it taste red? Does it taste red, or it's just a normal
What would red
vanilla
taste
cream?
like? It's dyed vanilla cream.
Uh,
I,
okay. So what
I
would red taste like right now? If I was thinking of a red flavor, it'd be the taste of your blood.
blood. Ew. You gotta ruin it
Or you're
for me.
being
Thanks. So,
yes, that's
and
exactly why I'm saying I win. I
you
win.
win. You win. I'm done with the red Oreo.
I'm waiting for next time. Got to think of a different disgusting flavor
Well,
for
and
each
if
of the
you're interested
colors.
where the Oreos,
Um,
hmm, if you're interested where the Oreos came from, we'll
you
put a
have to
link
watch. You
in
have
the
to watch
video
the last
where they
video.
actually came. Yes, you have to watch the last video. We'll make sure there's a link there for it somewhere. However, what I am, all right, so I've had my Oreos and now I'm going to drink my Jojo juice. Hold on. With that said, have you
Oh my
heard about
gosh.
JoJo's board game that stirred up a lot of controversy just 2 weeks ago as well? This girl is having a 2021. Let me tell you, she is living her life. There is a board game put out by Nickelodeon, as well as Spinmeister or Spin Master, the name of the board game company that put out a game called JoJo's Juice. It's made for children 6 and up, and they ask a whole lot of weird questions. It's 4 games in one, or there are 4 different topics. So there's truth or dare. There's two truths and a lie. Who knows JoJo best? And never has JoJo ever. Now, I first learned about this game
Okay.
from another YouTuber named Sloan. We're going to link his video down below because he goes really into detail with this. But let me ask you a question or two from JoJo Juice board game. See if I could find it. Let's get a question or two out for you.
I am hoping it's just stuff like the marshmallow challenge thing,
Mm,
and stupid stuff like that. That's what I would expect of something for girls 6 and up, but I shouldn't say girls 6 and up because it's going to be for
right.
kids 6 and up. But that's
Even,
what I'm expecting. That kind of stuff.
all right. Well, even with the Marshmallow Challenge, I don't think that's for children 6 and up. I really don't.
No,
I just
but I
think
think
that,
I think that's where there should be some issue.
yeah.
Someone should be saying, "Don't encourage them to do that. It's really dangerous."
Well, let's
But you're not
play.
going to talk about that, are you?
Not at all. So we're
Let's
gonna
go in
play
there.
a quick round, and I want to know your answers to this. Okay. So first question:
Okay.
have you ever walked in on someone naked, or had someone walk in on you?
Yes,
Okay. How
but
about when you were
look,
7 years old? Would you be
yeah.
asking a 7-year-old child that question?
Well, yeah, okay. Let's look at this in an innocent way. Probably yes, and
Just for
I
that, I'm
suppose
eating more
from looking
cookie.
at it,
Go screw yourself.
yeah.
Go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay. Okay. Um, I would say in a very innocent way, you would be able to answer that question. I think if people are trying to sexualize that question, then there's a problem there. But if you're just seeing it in the interests of, were you embarrassed? And you shouldn't be embarrassed about your naked body. But um, these things happen. We usually live in some kind of family group, and these these
Hmm.
these things do happen. So it
Okay.
should be seen as a rather innocent question. I can see where people are jumping up and down about it because
Okay.
asking you or I that question is quite different to asking a 7-year-old.
Right. Now, just keep in mind, though, this is a room full of 7-year-old little girls that
Exactly.
are opening up that conversation to each other. This is not a board game that your therapist would bring out, which is where I would completely expect this question to be asked. I would expect my therapist or, a child psychologist to pull out this
Yeah.
game and show me on the doll where the bad man touched you, and have you ever walked in on someone naked? I expect that in therapy or child therapy to get them to open up. I really don't see that a bunch of 7, 8-year olds sitting in a circle going, "Oh yeah, I walked in on my brother," or I just can't see it. But
No, but it should be just an innocent thing, like, "Have you ever stolen a cookie?" Those
mm,
kind of innocent kind of questions, but I think people are taking it out of proportion. So
okay,
that but you know what? It's the first question you've asked me. I don't know what the rest of the questions
okay.
are.
Well, one of the
I'm
questions,
trying to give it the benefit of the doubt.
right, and you know what? On that line of thinking, there is one question in there that I saw that said, "Have you ever stolen something from a store?" So bunch of girls sitting around playing truth or dare, asking each other that. I can kind of see that. Um, Here's another question. This will be our last question of this round. Have you ever gone outside without underwear? A bathing suit doesn't count. Why are you asking 6-year-olds if they've to each other, have you gone commando? Like, I don't get it. Like, all right, so I probably wouldn't have a problem asking you if you've gone commando. Hell, I wouldn't even have a problem asking you if you are right now. The thing is, I would never say that to a child. I would never ask another child that. And
No.
as a matter of fact, if I was a parent, which I am, and my boys were having that conversation at under 10 years old, and I happen to be walking past their bedroom and I hear those words, then I go on alert and I come in and go, what's going on? What are you doing? What
Why
are
are
you
you
talking
having this
about?
conversation?
Yeah, why?
I
So,
look, I look, I think there's a couple of layers here. I think one of the things is the age appropriateness of these questions and why are they being asked,
mhm,
and if you're asking that question, does it then make it a problem? So I don't see any issue
right.
with the first question really, and or the second question, because we shouldn't be ashamed of our bodies,
Hmm.
and seeing people naked shouldn't actually be an issue.
Okay.
Under most circumstances it shouldn't be a problem. And the last one, if you're not wearing underwear, like I don't, I've never brought up a girl, over the age of 5. I don't really know what that's like, but I'm assuming there are times when a girl would just put on a dress and not necessarily put on underwear and go outside. So she could quite innocently answer that question and say, yes, I didn't put on any underwear. And then, halfway through the day, her mother's going, Arabella, why don't you have underwear on? And she goes, oh, I just
First
forgot.
off, first off,
That kind of
Arabella,
stuff. Oh,
Arabella.
just the
Did you
way
just
of
like,
saying
where
it.
did that name come from? Oh my God. All right. Look, the last girl, teenager girl, whatever, young adult that I have ever heard of talking about the fact that they weren't wearing underwear was like Paris Hilton and Britney Spears circa 1993 going to the club.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only
But
time
this
I
is
think that's
you're looking at
okay.
this you're looking at this from a very different angle. I'm looking at this from trying to protect the innocence of younger children, and
Okay.
I think people are really, trying to stand up for those innocent children, where
Hmm.
a lot of that innocence gets
You're
shattered
right.
pretty quickly. And I think the only issue that I've got to this is that why are people making a point of this when it's perfectly normal, for a young girl, to just, you know,
Okay.
not have to worry about some of those things to a certain
Uh-huh.
age, like, and it's your parents that will sort that kind of thing out for you. But if you're starting to see that,
Hmm.
written down as being something that's controversial or something that's going to be, questioned in a game, and
Hmm.
then you're going to feel bad about yourself, and you don't need to feel bad about yourself, because your parents will make you feel bad enough about yourself already. I think that's where I've got the issue. Like, a 6-year-old doesn't need to have that pressure,
Okay.
is probably what I'm saying. But look, I'm not a child psychologist. I don't even have children. I don't really understand what they're thinking, but I just know that I
Okay.
think there's a lot of negativity that could come from that.
Make sure you address all your hate comments to Ross down below. Uh, Email your gay best friend at hotmail.com and make sure you address them Dear Ross. Remember that. I would love to say though, I could pull out the game right now. We can go through all the cards. Unfortunately, they've kind of stopped making the game. And as recent as January
Okay.
5th, Jojo Siwa herself came out and said, "Whoa, this is kind of inappropriate. It's kind of weird. I'd like all the stores to pull it from the shelves." So, her
Yeah.
as a person and her mother as a manager have stepped out and have condemned this game, that it doesn't really truly show the JoJo. Why can't I say that word? Oh my god, JoJo Siwa
It's all right.
brand. It's not the brand to be asking a bunch of 6-year-olds sitting around, wearing big bows in their hair if they've ever gone commando. It's just not a thing apparently. But that's yeah. So I won't be able to get that board game for us to play. I'm so sorry, Ross. So not coming up on
That's okay.
a free an episode,
Yeah.
I
I
just
don't
did.
think we need to play it.
No,
No,
I,
I
I,
don't think we need to. And look, and I think we need to just be kind of aware that JoJo probably wasn't even really aware of what the game
oh,
was either. I'm sure she doesn't look at every bow or every type of glitter that they put her name on.
right.
And I'm sure this poor child herself, being
Hmm.
17, I can't imagine what she's going through. This must be so much of a whirlwind for her,
Oh, totally.
being who she is, or the brand that she is. Um, but it just made me, when you first told me, who she was and what was going on, and I'm just thinking, well, Shirley Temple never had to deal with anything like that.
Oh,
Life
no,
was a
I'm
bit
sure.
easier when you were a child back in the day.
Or like Drew
Things were a little bit
Barrymore
more
doing
simpler.
cocaine in between, like playing with ET. I don't know.
Well,
But
it was a bit less. It was a bit less of a hassle, really, and there was a bit less of a lens on you. But now everybody's looking at this is probably my point. Everyone's looking at absolutely everything you do,
mhm,
and being so critical of absolutely everything you do. So these questions are being analyzed, and probably analyzed for the wrong reason. And they're saying, okay, but this is being aimed at a 6-year-old, and
mhm.
what do you mean by that? And this girl is 17. She didn't write the question. Some
Right,
marketing
right.
executive used analytics to write the question and to try and
Mhm.
get the best result of that and the best money out of all of this. So
I'm sure.
it's a very hard position for her to be in, and her management to be in. I think that's really unfair. uh,
I
I would
think.
hate to be.
Mhm. Well, I think right now, where she is in life in 2021 as a 17-year-old young woman coming into her age of adulthood, growing up, supposedly coming out to the LGBTQ community and to her younger fans. I think that takes a lot of guts. And I hope that is what she's doing and not just
Yeah.
doing something for controversy or to get something positive on her side because of all the backlash from this game. I don't. I've never heard of her being manipulative. I've never heard of her having a lot of like controversies and problems in the past. Her family and Nickelodeon have kept her always in a positive light. It just so happens that this game came out and this is what was in the game. I don't know how it got past marketing. I don't know who the study group was or the focus group that went through these questions was like, "Oh yeah, this is a good idea." Like, I don't know. And being that she's so tightly tied to Nickelodeon since she was so young, Nickelodeon has its own controversies with some of their producers and directors and people, some of the bigwigs over there. And I don't know if any of that's true. I don't work for Nickelodeon. I probably never will after this, but there are several videos out there that do pick people apart who work for Nickelodeon and some of the weird things they do. And again, that was through another YouTuber named Sloan, and we'll definitely put his information down there. But I love watching him. He's great. Uh, my opinion, I always seem to kind of lean towards his side of how he sees things. You probably not because you like little girls. Mm. Sorry.
No, look,
Yeah,
I definitely agree. I definitely agree. There's a sexualization of children
yeah.
on television, and there's always jokes. There's always jokes about um, fathers wanting to get to know their daughter's friends and all of this kind of stuff, and that's really irksome. But that
Yes.
trope is used over and over and over again because it resonates with so many people, and I'm sure from a marketing point of view, people use it and abuse it,
Hmm.
and they are making these shows for an audience of these tweens, these young boys and girls that are a similar age to these people, but also to the fathers,
Hmm.
and also trying to capture that market as well. I'm sure that's happening. They mightn't say it, they mightn't put it in black and white, but I think it's pretty
Hmm.
obvious, and I'm getting the impression that there's some pretty good evidence out there that that's true.
Mm.
And there's some people out there that really enjoy it that aren't from the demographic that they say that these shows are produced for. So I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that this game was produced by a bunch of older men,
Mm.
with different kinds of intentions. And I'm not saying
Right.
that it's necessarily a negative intention, but if they're just looking at it from the money side of view, from the money point of view, then that's a pretty ghastly thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just trying to get the biggest amount of dollars out of these performers, which I think is a pretty horrible thing to do. And you then just create all of this noise, and then they go, "Oh well, people are talking about us. This is
Hmm.
fantastic. This is what we want. We've got more buzz around us. This is fantastic." But at the end of it, it's people's lives, and some performers don't end up coming out of it, you know,
Right.
that good. There's been some performers who have suffered, and to never be seen again,
Hmm.
going through some quite horrific things. So it doesn't always work out. Uh,
Yeah.
it's not always good.
On on that note, really, I think I really want to know what everybody else actually thinks of this. Am I overreacting? Is this just a bad, poor decision for marketing and to make a quick buck like Ross thinks? Or do I just am I just old and cynical and think that all men are perverts? I don't know. Okay. So
I
please make
think
sure.
I think I think you are old and cynical. I think that's true. I just want to tell everyone,
Yes.
don't bother, with that one because that one's true.
Well,
But
make
please answer the rest.
make sure you like, subscribe, do all those things, follow us. We'll be coming back with another one because my JoJo juice is now officially cold and I'm gonna need a new cup. So you guys have a great night. Thank you so much, Ross. I will talk to you guys very soon. Say bye, Ross.
Always a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.